Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in today. Today's episode of the Topping Show is proudly sponsored by Topping Technologies. Topping Technologies is an IT value-added reseller and services company with a special proficiency IT security. Heck, I see their founder at least twice a day. Gotta say he's quite handsome and brilliant. He's me, see, that's the joke. If you're an IT leader or business owner, you can reach out to the team at sales@toppingtechnologies.com. Also still giving away a free flamethrower with every IT purchase with Picatinny rail adapter, so you can mount it to any standard AR-15 like all awesome accessories can be. Go to toppingtechnologies.com and click the flamethrower button to learn more and see me shoot a flamethrower. Lastly, trying to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you can click that button and tell your friends, I would greatly appreciate it. Now going over to the business part of the podcast, you have General Motors doing more layoffs as the trade wars heat up and demands for EVs, well, kind of cool down. Now this is brought to us thanks to Michael Wayland, who's a writer at CNBC, which is they say, quote, GM cutting jobs, idling Canadian electrical van plant due to market demand, or more accurately, lack thereof. And yes, I do know how to properly pronounce CaNaDa. I just say their name like that of derision for the rudimentary totalitarian government that won't let people have freedom of speech or Second Amendment. So I know what I'm doing. Well, sometimes, debatably. Now, dive in the article. Here you can see one of those. Ugh. I thought some GM products were ugly. You ain't seen nothing yet. Look at that van. Good luck replacing that windshield. That's probably cost more than my car just because it's so comically large. And yeah, definitely not an off-the-rack type of thing you can get. But nevertheless, diving into the article, they say, quote, GM will cut its production of all its electrical delivery vans at a plant in Canada before idling the facility through much of 2025. The plant will be reduced to, wow, from 2 shifts to just 1, eliminating 500 jobs. Now, they say that, quote, the CaMi assembly plant in, I'm going to guess this is not a made-up city, in Ontario. Ingersoll? Maybe? Ontario will be reduced from 2 shifts to 1, eliminating 500 jobs after idling began in May for roughly 20 weeks until October. Battery pack assembly at the plant will also be down in weeks of April 21 to April 28 ahead of the prolonged shutdown. The Detroit automaker said the decisions were not related to Trump's recent tariffs in the auto industry. GM says, quote, this adjustment is directly related to the responding demand and rebalancing inventory, or more accurately, lack of demand. Now, they continue to say, quote, production of the Bright Drop and EV battery assembly will remain at CAMI. Lana Payne, president of Canadian Union Unifor, sounds lame, which represents workers at the plant, described the action as, quote, crushing blow to hundreds of working families in Ingersoll and surrounding region that depend on the plant. She says, quote, General Motors must do everything in power to mitigate job loss during this downturn. Yeah, as your country tariffs the crap out of us, and in due course, we're tariffing you. Now rumors of CaNaDa saying, oh yeah, we'll do no tariffs if, we won't tariff your stuff anymore if you don't tariff stuff. So very fluid situation, to say the least. Now they say GM launched Bright Drop as a fully owned subsidiary in 2021 before folding into the company's fleet business in 2023, then folded Bright Drop into its Chevrolet brand in 2024, which that's got to be the most ugly, god-awful looking Chevrolet I've seen in my life. Let's just say Louis Chevrolet is surely rotating in his grave seeing that. They say, oh, GM had high expectations of making Bright Drop a new lucrative growth model for the business. Oh, GM, you should do stand-up comedy because that's hilarious that you think your EV vans will be able to compete with other companies that have, quality control, research, development, and actual contracts with companies like Amazon, which kind of put Rivian on the map thanks to that, van contract. And so you could argue kind of the age-old conundrum of chicken before the egg kind of thing, but yeah, you're not really going to grow until you get a huge contract. And again, you're still losing money on EVs, GM. I don't think that trend will stop anytime soon. Now, they noted that this is not stand-up, I swear. Bright Drop was expected to generate $1 billion revenue in 2023. GM recently declined to disclose their revenue. It's highly unlikely to achieve that target. They say, well, yeah, no duh. In 2023 to 2024, the automaker only sold 2,000 of those vans. And they thought they were going to make $1 billion. Again, granted, revenue, not profit, but still, $1 billion. No, GM, no. Mary Barra is perhaps drinking the Flint, Michigan water at this point. Now, they say, quote, the plans for idling comes weeks after the Detroit Free Press said that hundreds of Bright Drop vehicles were lined in a storage unit in Flint, Michigan. Really? Why? Unifor said that while GM, quote, has indicated it remains committed to CAMI facility with upgrades for the 2026 model year, the immediate future remains uncertain without stronger domestic support and fair they say fair market access, as again, these countries tariff the crap out of us way before we did them. Now, Payne continues to say, quote, the reality is that the U.S. is creating an industry turmoil. Trump's short-sighted tariffs and rejection of EVs technology is disrupting investment and freezing future order projections. This is creating an opening for China and other foreign automakers to dominate the global EV market, while the North American industry risks falling behind. Yeah, China's already dominating the market. The only reason they haven't taken over every country on the planet is because we're tariffing the shit out of them. You can't beat China when it comes to manufacturing because, well, no one's, before Trump has had actually the idea to stand up to them. They basically have no regulations, no real minimum wage law. Yeah, of course they're going to dominate most manufacturing instances. This is the first time in my lifetime anyone's actually had the idea of, hey, what if we don't let China get away with damn near murder? So, unfortunately, CaNaDa might have to suffer for a little while longer. Well, they always have to because it's, again, no freedoms over there. But I mean, I still can't believe GM thought that van was going to be a $1 billion idea. They were perhaps a little, they are consistently foolishly optimistic or misguided at GM, it seems. But let me know your thoughts in the comments because, as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get to 5,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so you can click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback, letting me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.